If you've eaten Tim Hortons, A&W, Subway Canada, or grocery store bread this week, you've likely eaten ingredients that researchers have raised concerns about. Some of these ingredients are restricted or banned in parts of Europe and other countries, yet they're still used in buns, pizza dough, hot dogs, and frozen foods Canadians eat every day. In this video, I'll break down 5 of the most common ones and show where Canadians are consuming them without realizing it. To be clear, none of these ingredients are secret. They're legal. They're listed on labels. The issue is how common they become, and how little most people know about what they actually do. In Canada, highly processed foods make up a large portion of the average diet, especially bread, fast food, and frozen meals. And many of the ingredients used to make these foods last longer, look better, or cost less are regulated very differently in other parts of the world. In parts of the European Union, food additives face stricter limits, warning requirements, or outright restrictions compared to Canada. That doesn't automatically make them dangerous, but it does raise an important question. If an ingredient needs tighter regulation elsewhere, why is it so common in foods Canadians eat every single day? The 5 ingredients in this video show up again and again across fast food, grocery stores, and frozen meals. Some are preservatives, some are dough conditioners. One is so common, it appears in more Canadian foods than almost anything else. Let's start with the ingredient found in more Canadian foods than almost anything else. Ingredient number 5 is refined enriched flour. This isn't just white bread. It's the base of burger buns, pizza crusts, hot dog buns, wraps, and most fast food bread products sold across Canada. Refined flour is made by stripping whole grains of fiber and nutrients, then adding back a small amount later in a process called enrichment. The problem isn't that it's illegal or banned. The concern is how often Canadians consume it. Studies have linked high intake of refined carbohydrates to blood sugar spikes, insulin resistance, and metabolic stress, especially when eaten daily. This ingredient shows up in foods from Tim Hortons sandwiches, to fast food burgers, to frozen pizzas, and grocery store bread. And this is just the starting point. Now let's move to the preservative that keeps bread looking fresh far longer than it naturally should. This is a preservative commonly used in bread, buns, and pizza dough to prevent mold. It's why some bread products can sit on shelves for weeks without spoiling. Calcium propionate is approved for use in Canada, but researchers have studied its potential effects on gut health and behavior in sensitive individuals. Some studies suggest it may contribute to digestive discomfort or changes in gut bacteria when consumed frequently. You'll find it listed on ingredient labels for grocery store bread, fast food buns, and some pizza crusts, including frozen pizza sold nationwide. And the next ingredient is one most people have never even heard of. Number 3 is something almost no Canadian recognizes by name, but it's in more bread than you realize. If this is useful to you, take 1 second to like the video. It helps this information reach more Canadians. Now, let's move on to number 3. It's called DATEM, short for diacetyl tartaric acid esters of mono and diglycerides. DATEM is a dough conditioner. It's not added for nutrition. It's added to make bread softer, whiter, and last longer on shelves. DATEM has been found in packaged grocery store bread, burger buns used by fast food chains, hot dog buns, pizza dough, and frozen dough products. If you eat fast food in Canada, you've almost certainly eaten DATEM. Here's where concerns begin. Some studies suggest emulsifiers like DATEM may alter gut bacteria, increase intestinal inflammation, and even disrupt the gut lining over time. Researchers studying processed foods have warned that emulsifiers may contribute to gut imbalance when consumed frequently. This doesn't mean eating DATEM once is dangerous. It means regular long-term exposure is what concerns researchers. Some food additives similar to DATEM have faced restrictions or tighter scrutiny in parts of Europe, where regulators apply the precautionary principle. That principle asks a simple question. If we don't need this ingredient, why use it at all? Canadians don't eat bread occasionally. We eat it daily. Breakfast, lunch, burgers, sandwiches, pizza. Small exposures, repeated often, that's where concerns begin. And DATEM isn't alone. The next ingredient is used even more aggressively, and in some countries, it's already being removed from foods. Let's talk about ingredient number 2. Number 2 is one of the most controversial bread additives ever used. It's called azotocarbonamide, often shortened to ADA. In Canada, ADA has been used in commercial bread and dough products to make dough stronger, whiter, and more uniform. This ingredient has appeared in commercial sandwich bread, burger and hot dog buns, pizza dough, frozen and pre-made dough products. You won't see it advertised, but it may appear on ingredient labels in small print. Here's why this ingredient drew international attention. When ADA is heated during baking, it can break down into compounds that some researchers have linked to respiratory irritation in industrial settings. Because of these concerns, ADA has been restricted or banned for food use in countries including the United Kingdom and across the European Union. These bans were based on regulatory caution, not panic, especially around long-term exposure. Canada and the US allow ADA in limited amounts. Europe does not. Same ingredient, same bread, different standards. That alone raises questions. But ingredient number 1 is even more widespread and harder to avoid. Because it's not just in bread, it's in almost everything. Number 1 is the most commonly consumed additive on this list. It's called mono and diglycerides. These are emulsifiers used to blend oils and water, extend shelf life, and improve texture. Mono and diglycerides appear in bread and buns, margarine and spreads, ice cream, packaged snacks, pizza dough, processed meats, frozen meals. If you eat packaged food, you've eaten this. Recent research into emulsifiers suggests that frequent consumption may affect gut bacteria and intestinal health. Some studies link certain emulsifiers to increased gut inflammation, changes in microbiome balance, potential metabolic effects when consumed regularly. This does not mean these ingredients cause disease on their own. It means diet patterns over time matter. Several European countries apply stricter rules on emulsifiers, requiring reformulation or cleaner alternatives. Meanwhile, Canadian products often rely on them because they're cheap, effective, and extend shelf life. Canadians aren't eating these once a year. They're eating them before work, on lunch breaks, after long days, feeding them to their kids. That's why awareness matters. This video isn't about fear. It's about information. Read labels, ask questions, decide what you want in your body. If you want to follow up breaking down specific Canadian brands, hit subscribe.